Well, good day. This is Spelling and Grammar Check with AutoCorrect, and these are the 8 things that we're going to try to learn today. We're going to learn, what does that wavy red line under a word really mean? What does the green wavy line under a word mean? What is the custom dictionary, and how can I add words to the custom dictionary? How can I remove words from the custom dictionary, and what things should I look for when I'm doing a spell check of a document? What is this AutoCorrect, and how do you use it, and what are some of the limitations of spell check? And so in order to learn these 8 things, I've prepared a little document for us to look at. And it's all about Thomas Jefferson. I noticed right away this document has some words that are underlined in red with a red wavy line. And you might think these words are the misspelled words, but that's not true. Here's a word, A-N-D, and it has a red wavy line. It's not misspelled, it's spelled perfectly correctly. And here's a word, Lushenko. It's not misspelled, it's spelled perfectly correctly. A red line does not mean that the word is misspelled. It only means that the word is not in the dictionary. You see, Microsoft Office has a dictionary, sort of like this, and it has a list of words that it knows, but there are lots of words that Microsoft does not know. And so they've given us a chance to make our own custom dictionary. So I have a custom dictionary, and I've put a few words in it. These are words that are not in the regular dictionary. Words like Casumnus. Every time I type Casumnus River College, I get little red lines underneath Casumnus because it's not in the regular dictionary. So I added it to my custom dictionary, and you can do that too. You can take a word like Lushenko, and every time you type it, it gets a little red wavy line. What you can do is just add it to your custom dictionary. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's take a look at the custom dictionary and just see where it is right now. To get to the custom dictionary, you do the Office button, and underneath the Office button you can find Word Options. Here it is. Give it a click. It's a little bit bigger than your screen can see, so I'll scoot it over a little bit. There you go, and now you can sort of see here's the Word Options. The word option that I'm interested in is the proofing one. So I'll go over here to proofing, and it says there are some custom dictionaries. Oh, there are. You could have more than one custom dictionary. I'll give it a click. It says so far I only have one custom dictionary. It's called custom.dic, and it says you can edit the word list, or you can make a whole new dictionary. But I don't want to do that. I just want to look at the word list that I have, and these are the words that I've put in to my own custom dictionary. I think I'm going to add the word Lushenko, L-U-S-H-E-N-K-O, and I will add it to my custom dictionary. Now the word Lushenko won't have a red line on it anymore. I'll say that's good for me. Oh, can you remove a word as well? Maybe you typed in a word that was wrong and you entered it and you added it to the dictionary. V-E-R-Y-Y. Well, that's not even a word. But I'm going to add it anyway. Maybe I added it by mistake. Then I think every time it comes across this word very, it's not going to be a red wavy line because, hey, it's in the dictionary. So you probably don't want to do that. Let's remove this one. We're going to delete this word from our custom dictionary. Don't forget how to delete a word from your custom dictionary. We went to the Word Options. OK, OK. We went to Word Options, Proofing, and Custom Dictionaries. One more OK and we're set. Hey, Lushenko doesn't have a little red line on it anymore. Why not? Because it's in the dictionary now. Not the Microsoft dictionary. It's in my own custom dictionary. Well, let's do a spell check. Spell check is on the Review tab, so I click Review, and then on the left-hand side it says Spelling and Grammar. If you rest over it, it says you could get to this spelling and grammar a lot faster if you just tap the F7 key on the keyboard. F7 is spell check. I'll give it a click, and it runs across this first red word. It says, he loved gadgets and once built a clock that ran on cannonballs and weights, but it's not really that. It's T-A-T-H, and it says, do you want to ignore this red word? Is this word perfectly okay and just ignore it? No, I should not ignore it. It's misspelled. Should I ignore it throughout the entire document? Ignore all means ignore wherever you find it in the whole document. No. Should I add this word to the dictionary? Now, does that add it to the Microsoft dictionary, or does it add it to my own custom dictionary? Yeah, that's right. It adds it to my own custom dictionary. You can't change the Microsoft dictionary. No, I don't want to add this bad word to the dictionary. Well, maybe you want to change this red word. Do you want to change the red word to tart? Did you mean tart? No, I didn't mean tart. He built a clock. Tart ran on cannonballs? No. Tact? No. Tat? No. That? Yes, that's the one. I want to change it to this suggestion, so I'm going to click change. Now, should I do change all? If I run across this red word again, should I change it to that again? Well, I don't know about that. I'm just going to do change for right now. It comes across the next one and says, hey, there's a repeated word. Somebody typed the word and they typed it again. Should I ignore it just because it's the word twice in a row? Well, sometimes you do want to ignore it if it's twice in a row, but not in this case. It says and that's a mistake. So I'm going to delete the red word. Delete. It came across this word, violin. It said, should I ignore this word? Is this word perfectly okay? No, I should not ignore it. It's not spelled right. Should I ignore all? All times it's in the whole document. Should I ignore this red word? No, I should not. Should I add this red word to the custom dictionary? Is it a perfectly good word? No, it's not a perfectly good word. It's a misspelled word. Did you mean violins? No. Did you mean violin? Yes, I did. So I should change it. Should I change it no matter where I find it? Well, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to do change. It says, he were admired as a writer and a thinker. And they think, what should I do with thinker? Do you mean think or thinker? I meant thinker. Change. What about he were admired? Wasn't it he was admired? Don't you mean that? Maybe you can just ignore it and say, you know what, it's already correct. He were admired. No, it's not correct. It needs to be changed. Change it to was. Change the green thing to was. Okay, change. Declaration. Spelled wrong. Do you want to replace it with declaration? I-O-N? Yes, I do. I want to change it. Jefferson wrote the draft himself. He wrote. Should I ignore that? It's already spelled correctly? No, it's not spelled correctly. Should I add this misspelled word to the dictionary? You know what? If I add it to the dictionary, how am I going to get it out? Do you remember how to get a word out of the dictionary? Well, I'm not going to add it to the dictionary. That doesn't seem right. Do you want to change it to this word, wrote, or maybe this word, wore, or maybe this word, worse, or maybe this word, worth? He doesn't know what words you want. Jefferson wrote. It's this one. Change. His self. Don't you mean himself? He wrote the draft himself? Yes, change. Now it says proclaiming all men are created equal, and it thinks because this looks like a quote and it looks like a sentence, maybe you need a capital letter in the beginning of a sentence. But really this is just part of a quote. And so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to choose this suggestion at all. I'm just going to come up here in the top, give it a click, and I'm going to type in what I think it should be, ... This will show that there's part of a quote in front of this, and this is the middle of a sentence. It's not the beginning of a sentence. If it was the beginning of a sentence, I would capitalize the beginning of a sentence. Now, should I change it? Yes, I should. I'm going to change. So you can just type yourself up here. You don't have to take a suggestion. You can just come up here and change stuff yourself, and then do change. Now it says typed by StudNet Tom. It's supposed to be student, and I do this all the time. This is one of my worst things. I always type StudNet instead of student. I'm going to try to remember that for a minute because I'm going to come back to this one down at the bottom that says AutoCorrect. I'm not going to click it now, but I'm going to remember there's something about AutoCorrect. And what AutoCorrect means is that as I'm typing it, I want you to change every time I type something stupid, like StudNet. I want you to automatically change it to student. But for right now, I'm just going to do student, and I'm going to do change. It says this guy's name is Tierhaden, Tom Tierhaden, and they don't know what you're talking about. They have no spelling suggestions. But I know that this word is correct. Now, I could add it to the dictionary, but this student's probably going to be gone in a year or two, so I'm not going to add it to the dictionary. I'm just going to tell him to ignore all instances of this word, because this word is a perfectly good word. This is how he spells his name. So I'm going to say ignore all. That is, all instances. Hey, the spelling and grammar check is complete. I'll say OK. I want to talk about this student thing. I often type the word StudNet. I don't know why. It's just a bad habit, I guess. I'm going to type he was a student. He was a student. And see, it gives me this underline every single time because I always spell it wrong. So what I want to do is I want the computer to automatically, whenever I type StudNet, to just change it automatically into student for me. That way I don't have to worry about spell checking this word. So I'm going to go do that. And here's how you do it. You go up to the Office button and you choose those word options again, And under proofing, just like we were before, there's the thing that says AutoCorrect options. I want to look at those AutoCorrect. It says it'll change how Word corrects and formats text that you type. So I give it a click, and here's a bunch of words down here that people often misspell. Like some people might type NVER, and they really meant never. So if you type NVER and you put a space, it'll change it automatically to never. Or if you type NWO and put a space, it'll change it automatically to now, N-O-W. So I want to do that for student. Up here I'm going to put studnet, which I often type. I don't know why I do that. And then I'm going to replace it with student. I got to type it just so. Does it look right? Okay, good. Anytime I type it wrong, you automatically type it right. I'm going to add that to my list. And OK. And OK over here. Let me scoot it over so you can see it. Down here, OK. Now I'm going to type studnet. Studnet space. Hey, it changed it to student. What if I type NWO and I press a space bar? Hey, it changes it to now. What if I type NVER and I put a space? Hey, it changes it to never. That's called AutoCorrect. There's one more thing I want to talk about spell check, and that is the limitations of spell check. Let's look at the top a minute, and let's look at these sentences. It says Thomas Jefferson, 3rd President. It says for 40 years the remarkable Thomas Jefferson devoted himself to public service. Seems right. He also found time to be a successful lawyer, farmer, architect, musician, and inventor. Jefferson had many skills. That seems right. He spoke 6 languages, including Satin and Greek. Wait a minute. Including Satin and Greek. How can you speak Satin? Oh, it means Latin. Spoke Latin and Greek. Well, wait a minute. Where's the red line? How come there's no red line? Where's the green wavy line? Where's the green line? There's no green, there's no red, there's no nothing. Because this word satin is a real live word, like satin sheets that you might put on a bed. Satin is a real word, and the spell check could not find a mistake if the word is in the dictionary. So you have to look through your document, even if you did a spell check, and carefully make changes to it. You have to proofread it yourself because there could still be mistakes in it. Well, let's still go see if we did all 8 things that we were supposed to do. We know what a red wavy line is. It means that the word is not in the dictionary. It's neither in Microsoft's dictionary nor is it in your own custom dictionary. A green wavy line means you used improper grammar. The custom dictionary is a little tiny file that you can add words to. But how do you add the words to it? It's under the Office button and the Word options, isn't it? Under Word options was the proofing, and there was the custom dictionary right there. Scoot it over a bit so you can see it. I only have one custom dictionary, and I could add words to it here, or I could delete words from it as well. Say OK and OK and OK. Can't see that. Move it over. OK. You can also add words by clicking Add to Dictionary when you're doing a spell check, and it'll put them in that custom dictionary. What things should you look out for? You got to look out for things that should be changed just once or changed throughout the whole document. Things that should be added to the dictionary or not added to the dictionary. AutoCorrect is a way you can automatically get things to the computer to automatically change your words for you. And the limitations of a spell check, well, you have to proofread your document. Just because your words don't have red underlines, that doesn't mean they don't have mistakes. They could still have mistakes even though they don't have red or green lines. Well, that's about all there is to it.